Good afternoon, color adventurers. I'm Yellow Yando with Badass Art. We are here today to check out some of these little poofy flowers. These are dandelions, and they're actually pretty fun to color. We might work on this little nest to the twigs and the moss area. Those are different textures that can sometimes be a little intimidating, but we're going to dive in and dispel the myth that they're actually not so hard. So we are in our Dragonfly Dreams book. It is a Land of Loredale from the HoloLands, and the actual book, the HoloLands, will be out in the next couple of days. It is full of little snail creatures that are on saddles, snail races. We have little mushroom people, and it's a super fun book. Lots of textures and lots of different things in there. So without further ado, I am using, well, today I have the Faber Castells out, so I'm just going to push on with those. I'm going to start with I'm going to make these, even though they're dandelions, I'm not going to just make them white. I want to kind of make them a peachy color. So I'm going to get this number 718. I'm going to go in and just sort of pull that color down in the shady spots. It's very subtle. And I might actually grab one that's a little bit darker. But right here in the middle, I'm going to add a pretty good dose of color. Just light pressure. You don't have to add a lot. But you want to cover this little area here. Now I am going to go back and see what is the next shade. Number 791. Now I'm going to kind of go in here and try this again. And also on the outside, I'm just going to kind of grab and pull in. And I'm not going to go all the way around. Just kind of here where it's up against this really dark area, because I want it to show up. I don't want it to kind of get lost in there. And you can see where the darker areas are. It makes the lighter areas really kind of pop. I'm kind of going back to this lighter color, number 718, going over where we had gone before, just nice and easy. I'm going to pull a pure white, and in this set it's 713. I'm just going to make these little dandelion poofs a little more standoutish, a little more fuzzy. And you can see how the white shows up against the grayscale. It's the most amazing thing. Because in most pencils, like if you're coloring on white paper and you lay down a dark color and then you go over it, oh gosh, I'm throwing pencils, and then you go over it with a lighter color, the lighter color doesn't show up at all. But if you're working on a darker grayscale or black paper and you lay down a darker color and then you go over it with a lighter pencil or a white pencil, it shows up beautifully. And I don't really know why, and I've said this before, I don't really care. I'm just happy that it works that way, because I tend to work backwards. I tend to work from the darkest to the lightest. And so that's another reason why I love grayscale so much. It complements my style of art. So yeah, I like that. So that's a way to make little poofy flowers or feathers like birds or anything like that look just a little bit softer. It's just a building up, and you can go back into and add darker, a little darker streaks if you want. But that's basically how to make a little puff flower. Now on the nest, I usually go in when it's like a stick or twig or something. I usually go in with a darker color. This is number 745, and it's just a really dark chocolatey brown. And I'm just kind of gonna weave my way around these darker spots in the nest. Amazon has just really made this book dark for me, and I wasn't super happy, but I didn't want to wait for them to send me a new one. I'm just kind of making some marks here and there. I really like to let the grayscale work for me as often as possible on the shadows and these sorts of things. I'm not coloring it solidly right now. I'm just kind of going around. And it's very easy to see where we've made our marks. Now I'm going to go with this kind of taupey brown color, number 788. And you can see already that it's giving it, for lack of a better word, volume. It's making it stand up and giving it some depth. You can tell that this is a round nest. It's not flat, and there's fluff in it. There are little pieces of moss and things in there. So it's when we start to build colors and pull things around, and we're not making individual sticks. We're not tediously going around counting this out and measuring it. We're just randomly making strokes and letting it work for us. Now I want a reddish, kind of a rusty red. And it's number 711. And I'm not going to put a lot of this color in, but it's a really rich, kind of a warm, it gives us a warmth. And I really like that. We've got our weird little feet. I love I love their strange little feet. I tell people everybody in Lauredale has odd feet. And Lauredale is a real place. I grew up there. It is a tiny little village. And now we're going to continue to get lighter with number 786. You know, I'm not really worrying about, you know, if I'm coloring over colors I've already put down. I'm just building this. And I am giving the pencil some pressure. I do want this to show up, so I'm not being super light-handed. I've probably got a medium hand on this. And last but not least, I'm going to get kind of a creamy color, number 768. I'm going to go over these highlighted pieces. And you don't want to over highlight it, you just kind of want to brighten up the highlights that are already there. I'm just kind of going over these lighter areas. Okay, and now we have a cute little nest. Not very intimidating. It's just a bunch of lines in different colors. So now let's move up to these mossy colors. The first color I'm gonna get is number 760. It's kind of an army green. I want to go in here in the darkest spots. Hopefully I'll be able to upload all the videos. I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days, but I'm of course taking everything with me. I don't travel without my artwork, and I will be recording while I'm there because I have wonderful light when I'm out on the campground, and I love that. But sadly, even with a traveling hotspot, I don't always have a strong enough signal upload to YouTube. Sometimes it gets kind of finicky, but we're keeping our fingers crossed. However, if it will not let me upload, when I get back this weekend, I will upload 2 videos a day until I get everyone caught up to where we were. And now over here, I'm just kind of grabbing, you know, the darker spots where it's shadowy. And then I'm just kind of, you know, touching here and there, giving it. Mosses have a lot of different colors in them, so we want it to look as soft and rich and real as we can. It looks like this little pixie went through a lot of trouble making this nest. It's nice and soft and comfy. Okay, the next color I'm going to use is 766. I'm just going up on top of that army green. I don't want it to be super bright, but I do want it to have, you know, like a nice healthy green undertone. Now I want a brown color, number 786. I use this color a lot. It's kind of a go-to brown. This is a good brown to have in a skin tone set. It's very versatile. And I'm just kind of adding it here and there. And we're going to like a lighter chartreuse color 779. We're going to brighten this up, filling in the rest of what's left, and going over the darker colors just to sort of grab everything and bring it together. Realism is basically building colors until you're satisfied with the result. But now that you've seen this moss come to life from this little nest, hopefully it's not as intimidating to you, and you'll feel more confident as you color your picture. And no matter what colors you're using, no matter what set of pencils you're using, it all kind of comes together in the end. I'm so happy that you all joined me today. If you have requests for other sorts of tutorials that you'd like to see, please leave me a message in the comments below. And it doesn't have to be pencils. It can be markers or paint or, just whatever you'd like to see. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so that you'll get a notification as soon as I post a new video. And there we have it. Fluffy little dandelion flowers in a nice cozy nest. I hope everybody's having a great day. See you tomorrow.